Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, what are you doing? Subscribe. We have fun here. My name is Lisa, and I love everything colorful makeup, colorful eyeshadow, especially indie brands. And welcome to episode 10. Yes, 10 of Music Inside the Makeup, where once a month, second Saturday of every month, I pick a band. And then I pick a palette, an indie brand, one of their palettes that I believe kind of goes with the theme of the song that I choose. I talk a little bit of history about them, and we do a look together. We create a look together. It's fun. It's been doing pretty well, which means that you guys enjoy it. I am taking two passions and I'm putting them together, hopefully, I believe, in a creative way. We are going to be talking about Led Zeppelin. Now, I thought about doing Metallica, okay? And I'm like, it's December. We're not going to go that hard for December. You know, Christmas is right around the corner. So I'll be saving Metallica for a later episode. One of my favorite bands. Listened to them growing up. I am a Gen Xer, and they go way even before Gen Xers, okay? And they've been around for a hot minute, 4 decades. They are icons. They are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I love their music. I absolutely love their music. I have chosen 2 indie brands, 2 palettes, of course. Now, I have used this. This is from Ensley, and I believe I used this for Heart. Don't quote me on that. But I did use this for Music Inside the Makeup one other time. This is Groovy Garden. What better way, psychedelic, than Led Zeppelin, Ensley, Groovy Garden, right? Just saying. Here's what she's giving. These beautiful, grungy, yet neutral, beautiful color story in here. And I'm telling you, the multi-chromes, hey, if you know, you know. If you use my affiliate link, thank you so very much. It helps you out, and it helps me out as a creator supporting my channel. So thank you so, so much if you do. Appreciate you. The other is Cosmic Beauty, aka Cosmic Brushes, and this is their Neutrals palette. And here's what she is giving if you do not know. You definitely could play off of them, for sure. A lot of people have asked me, so why do you only do one eye? Well, I'm going to answer that for you. And it's just simply that, is that some of these looks can take up to 2 hours. And if I want to put out more content on the same day, I will only do one eye for one video and then do the other eye for the next. So let's get into Led Zeppelin. Grab your water, your coffee, your toddy, your Gatorade, what have you, your brushes. Maybe you have these 2 palettes, or shop your stash for a similar color story, and come on back. On Wikipedia, I'm not on Spotify, it was a little short, and these guys have been around, like I said, for a hot minute, so this is public knowledge. Led Zeppelin were an English rock band formed in London in 1968. The band comprised vocalist Robert Plant, guitarist Jimmy Page, bassist keyboardist John Paul Jones, and drummer John Bonham. With a heavy guitar-driven sound and drawing from influences including blues and folk music, Led Zeppelin are cited as a pro-igniter of hard rock and heavy metal. Among the best-selling music artists of all time, they influenced the music industry, particularly in the development of album-oriented rock and stadium rock. Led Zeppelin evolved from a previous band, the Yardbirds, and were originally named the New Yardbirds. They signed a deal with Atlantic Records that gave them considerable artistic freedom. Initially unpopular with critics, they achieved commercial success with 8 studio albums over 10 years. Their 1969 debut album, Led Zeppelin, was a top 10 album in several countries and features such tracks as Good Times, Bad Times, Dazed and Confused, and Communication Breakdown. Led Zeppelin 2 in 1969, their first #1 album, includes Whole Lotta Love and Ramble On. In 1970, they released Led Zeppelin 3, which opens with Immigrant Song. Oh, love that. Love that song. Their untitled 4th album, commonly known as Led Zeppelin 4, 1971, is one of the best-selling albums in history with 37 million copies sold. Wow. It includes Black Dog, Rock and Roll, and Stairway to Heaven. Who doesn't know Stairway to Heaven? Come on now. With the latter being among the most popular and influential works in rock. Houses of the Holy. Yes, love Houses of the Holy. 1973 includes The Song Remains the Same and The Rain Song. Physical Graffiti. 1975. The year I was born. A double album features Trampled Underfoot and Kashmir. Another badass song. Page composed most of Led Zeppelin's music, while Plant wrote most of the lyrics. Jones occasionally contributed keyboard focus parts, particularly on the band's final album. The latter half of their career saw a series of record-breaking tours that earned the group a reputation for excess and debauchery. Although they remained commercially and critically successful, their touring and output, which included Presence, 1976, and In Through the Outdoor, 1979, declined in the late 70s. After Bonham's death in 1980, the group disbanded. The three surviving members have sporadically collaborated and participated in one-off concerts, including the 2007 Ahmet Ertegun tribute concert in London. I think I said that correctly. With Bonham's son, Jason Bonham, on drums. I do remember watching that tribute. Led Zeppelin have sold an estimated 200 to 300 million records worldwide. Damn. They achieved 8 consecutive UK #1 albums and 6 #1 albums on the US Billboard 200, with 5 of their albums certified diamond in the US by the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA. Rolling Stone described them as the heaviest band of all time, the biggest band of the 70s, and unquestionably one of the most enduring bands in rock history. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995. The museum's biography states that they were as influential in the 1970s as the Beatles were in the 1960s. In 1966, London-based session guitarist Jimmy Page joined the blues-influenced rock band The Yardbirds to replace bassist Paul Samwell Smith. Page soon switched from bass to lead guitar, creating a dual lead guitar lineup with Jeff Beck. Following Beck's departure in October '66, the Yardbirds became a 4-piece with Page as the sole guitarist. This new lineup recorded an album, Little Games, in 1967, before embarking on a tour of the United States, during which they performed several songs which would later be part of Led Zeppelin's early repertoire, including covers of Johnny Burnett's Train Kept A-Rollin' and Dazed and Confused, a song originally written and recorded by Jake Holmes in early April 1968. The Yardbirds held a recording session at Columbia Studios in New York City, recording a number of tracks, including a Page Ralph composition initially titled "Knowing That I'm Losing You," which was eventually re-recorded by Led Zeppelin as Tangerine. It's a beautiful song. The Yardbirds in '68 tour proved to be exhausting for the band. Drummer Jim McCarty and vocalist Keith Relf aimed to embark in a more acoustic direction, forming a folk rock duo which eventually evolved into the group Renaissance. Page, on the other hand, wanted to continue heavier blues-based sound he had established with the Yardbirds. With the support of the Yardbirds' new manager, Peter Grant, Page planned to form a supergroup with Beck and himself on guitars, and The Who's Keith Moon and John Entwistle on drums and bass, respectively. Vocalists Steve Winwood and Steve Marriott were also considered for the project. The group never formed, although Page, Beck, and Moon had recorded a song together in 1966, Beck's Bolero, in a session that also included bassist keyboardist John Paul Jones. The Yardbirds played their final gig on July 7, 1968 at Luton College of Technology in Bedfordshire. They were still committed to several concerts in Scandinavia, so McCartney and Ralph authorized Page and bassist Chris Dreja to use the Yardbirds' name to fulfill the band's obligations. Page and Dreja began putting a new lineup together. Page's first choice for the lead singer was Terry Reid, but Reid declined the offer and suggested Robert Plant, a singer for the Band of Joy, and Hobbs Tweedle. Plant eventually accepted the position, recommending former Band of Joy drummer John Bonham. John Paul Jones inquired about the vacant position of bass guitarist at the suggestion of his wife after Dreja dropped out of the project to become a photographer. Page had known Jones since they were both session musicians and agreed to let him join as the final member. In August 1968, the four played together for the first time in a room below a record store on Gerrard Street in London. Page suggested that they attempt Train Kept a Rollin', originally a jump blues song popularized in a rockabilly version by Johnny Burnett, which had been covered by the Yardbirds. As soon as I heard John Bonham play, Jones recalled, "I knew this was going to be great. We locked together as a team immediately." Before leaving for Scandinavia, the group took part in a recording session for the PJ Proby album 3 Week Hero. The album's track, Jim's Blues, with Plant on harmonica, was the first studio track to feature all four future members of Led Zeppelin. The band completed the Scandinavian tour as the new Yardbirds, playing together for the first time in front of a live audience at Gladsaxe Teen Club at the, Agard School? Today, Gladsaxe School. Festive Hall, Gladsaxe, Denmark on September 7th, 1968. Later that month, they began recording their first album, which was based on their live set. The album was recorded and mixed in 9 days, and Page covered the costs. After the album's completion, the band were forced to change their name after Dreja issued a cease and desist letter stating that Page was allowed to use the new Yardbirds moniker for the Scandinavian dates only. One account of how the new band's name was chosen held that Moon and Twistle had suggested that a supergroup with Page and Beck would go down like a lead balloon. For being very successful or unpopular, the group dropped the A in lead at the suggestion of Peter Grant so that those unfamiliar with the term would not pronounce it lead, being L-E-E-D. The word balloon was replaced by Zeppelin, a word which, according to music journalist Keith Shadwick, brought the perfect combination of heavy and light, combustibility and grace to Page's mind. Grant secured a $143,000 advance contract. In today, that would be $1,293,000 from Atlantic Records in November '68. At the time, the biggest deal of its kind for a new band. Atlantic was a label with a catalog of mainly blues, soul, and jazz artists, but in the late 1960s, it began to take an interest in British progressive rock acts. At the recommendation of British singer Dusty Springfield, a friend of Jones who at the time was completing her first Atlantic album, Dusty in Memphis, record executives signed Led Zeppelin without having ever seen them. Under the terms of their contract, the band had autonomy in deciding when they would release albums and tour and had the final say over the contents and design of each album. They would also decide how to promote each release and which tracks to release as singles. They formed their own company, Super Hype, to handle all publishing rights. I have to tell you, these men, these artists, these icons have been around for, like I said, decades, okay? I'm 50, and they go before that, late 60s and the 70s. So if you want to continue to read more on their Wikipedia site here, it's the early years, 1968 to 70, and it goes on and on and on. But I wanted to bring light which is it's my favorite part of music inside the makeup, really, is to bring these artists to life, so to speak, and talking about them and the magic that happens between these artists and the songs, the amazing music that they write, and using instruments and bringing us, the fans, just this fucking amazing music, and then go and tour and put on these amazing shows. I never got to see Led Zeppelin, no, but I have watched many of concerts and documentary series on them, and they are just amazing, and they are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hell yeah. What can you say more about icons? And lately I have been, talking about iconic bands that have been around for, 40, 50 years. It's amazing. It's amazing. And some of them are still going, y'all. They are still going. But Led Zeppelin is not. And it is something that if any Gen Xer or even beforehand had gotten to see them before the final kind of farewell, or even the spontaneous concerts that popped up now and again in UK or wherever, then that's a magical time for you, y'all. A magical time. So without further ado, we're going to create a look together. So come on back with your brushes, your coffee, your toddy. Let's do this. So the two songs that I have chosen from Led Zeppelin are Kashmir and Black Dog. And if you have never heard those songs, you are missing out. Go to Spotify and plug those in. Turn it all the way up and enjoy. Trust me. So here we go. Going to complete this look. Like, again, I said I started with Chic, and then I kind of mixed it. And that one's from Cosmic Beauty with Ensley Rain's Groovy Garden here with Bliss, and did this transition shade. And I used this brush here, which is from my new collection from Glam Light, the Saw collection, and just all over the brow bone in the front here to kind of lighten up and giving me that transition shade. Y'all know, if you've been with me for a minute, I never know what I'm gonna do when I come on here. It is the creative process that I love, and doing it with you guys. But if I am gonna stick with the spotlight, and because we as hooded gals here, this here, right? And you can tell that this one is slightly more hooded than this side. I feel like when someone with hooded eyes, the best way to do a halo is the spotlight. I've noticed that I have done like a regular halo starting here compared to the slanted spotlight kind of look, which in turn, in my opinion, gives our hooded eyes more of a lift. And when I had created with the Bougie palette from Ensley Rain, the purple in there, the spotlight look that I had done, when I look over my videos and I see that it's slanted this way, I just know that it seems to lift my eye more. Hopefully that makes sense. We need small brushes if we're going to do this. So I'm gonna use my Unearthly Cosmetics detail work, hooded eyes. Amazing. Use small brushes. It gives you more control of where the pigment is, where it goes, how you blend. Again, in my opinion. I'm going to go into this here, which is Lust. And it is this cranberry burgundy color. And I do want to try to incorporate this green over in Ensley Rain. Don't know how this is all going to pan out, but we are going to try. And again, it's about having fun and the creative process of it, okay? It is, hopefully, you got some Led Zeppelin going. And my lids are primed already with my MAC Paint Pot and Soft Ochre, and I did use those two transition shades mixed together. So here we go. And just patting. I'm not worried about sharp lines right now, harsh lines or anything like that. I'm just starting my shape for my eye, dealing with folds, creases, the hood, and all of that. Now I'm coming over here, the outer corner, to get this shape, and I'm coming out kind of far. Pull this in a little bit. Just like that. And I also kind of came in just slightly, no extra product. Cosmic Beauty's formula is amazing, you know, and it's pigmented and moves beautifully, blends beautifully. So does Ensley Rain. So I know the combination of the two working together is not going to be a problem. Right now, I'm going to take a small flat brush, my Singe Beauty. I could also probably use this set from Morphe, their new set here. This is my Singe, this is the 7. And go into that cranberry color we just used. Come in. And I do put shadow on my waterline. I don't suggest it. And I am going to bring it to a little point here. Now we're going to go and connect the lower lash line here. So I've lined it up, and I'm lining it up here, and I'm leaving this empty. And when I start blending here, this is going to open up a little more. And I'm going to use this little smudger from Morphe and slightly blend a little. And I'm going to take again, the mixture of Chic and Bliss. I'm going to start out here and do a little blending. This is the Cosmic Beauty 4. I'm also going to do this a little bit here. I'm going to wipe it off, and I'm only going to go into Chic, which seems to be a little lighter. And I feel like I'm going to use black liner for this. Like so. Spotlight. Take my Morphe and Morphe smudger. I'm going to go in one more time with the black. Right here. Now I am going to go back in with the burgundy color, Unearthly, that I started with, Cosmic Beauty. Now I do want to take the green from Ensley Rain. I'm going to re-intensify this just above the black here. I'm going to wipe that off. This could be a huge mistake, or this could be a good thing. This is a slant. You can see it's slanted from Unearthly. There is this green, and I've been looking at these two greens, but I also looked at this one. To see what I want to do. I think I'm going to go with the light green. And actually, instead of using that slanted, I'm going to use this longer blender. It's called Sage Serenity. And just on the outside, oh, she's a pigmented. But as we blend it, it's going to get a little lighter. Coming up on my hood. I'm literally just on the outside here. I guess you could say this is a Christmas Christmassy kind of look, right? If you wanted to stick with the theme of red and green. This is going to look a little crazy at first. Trust the process. Somehow is coming together very nicely. Like that. Now, do you see what I mean? Like if I did both eyes, and I understand some people don't like it when people do one eye, but again, I've already explained the reason why. Having this eye done, and again, with the shimmer, when this is completed, and a dramatic lash, this is going to be so pretty, in my opinion. You don't have to use these two, colors, this combination. You could just left it the cranberry or whatever color you decided to do, which hopefully you're doing this with me. I'm going to put some glitter glue on, just a tiny, tiny bit. And a majority of it is going to be down here though. And I'm literally only going to tap just a little bit on the lid, not up here, because I really want it to be a heck of a lot lighter up here. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I started it and I decided to use Jazzed, which was one of the two, plus Moonchild. I'm going to be using that as well. Literally. Just tapping that all in this negative space. Wow, that is like too stark. I shouldn't have used glitter glue. But this is an easy fix. It's not like it's horrible. Can use a clean brush and kind of pat and spread to kind of tone this down a little bit. It's going to come together. It's going to come together. And blending that in. And take my unearthly brush, go back into that cranberry, and just blend that in on the outer edge into the shimmer. The shimmer and the matte together. This is like almost the final look. I'm going to put a dramatic lash for sure. And mascara. And I will be right back with the finished look. And here is the finished look with a dramatic lash for sure. Still a little wet. Need to move it a little bit, I think, but definitely a dramatic lash for sure. These are from Kiss and they are in this style called Diamond. So she's glam. She's a glam spotlight. Probably shouldn't have used the glitter glue and only did like a taparoo, but hey, here we are. And this is episode 10, Music Inside the Makeup, using Ensley Rain in Cosmic Beauty, the Groovy Garden, and the Neutrals palette. Just goes to show shopping your stash and just utilizing your palettes together. Do your low buys, know your budget, don't be or feel pressured to buy anything. And when you are able, and you're wanting to help your creators out by using their links, that's amazing as well. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this month's Music Inside the Makeup. Led Zeppelin, iconics in their own right, and I absolutely love them. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen them? Have you? Any of my Gen Xers, or maybe, hey, even older, have you been able to see them? Because damn, like I said before, that's a magic moment right there. With that, you guys, hopefully if you're new, you subscribe and like, comment, say hi Tell me who's your favorite band. I would love to know in the comments. And also by turning on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. And I do have a couple more videos coming out for you guys. One, doing a look with Gourmand Girls Silent Night right here. And as well as my recommendations for not your average Christmas looks, clearly, with some indie brands and their palettes, the recommendations that I have that are like Christmas theme or Winter Wonderland or just not your average. Don't be boring. Step out. It doesn't have to be trending. Whatever you like, just be you and have fun with it. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, keep rocking and keep creating.